As long as there have been financial claims, there have been people trying to counterfeit them. Financial claims have been designed with safety in mind from the beginning. There are three main categories of verification technology for financial claims. The first is writing, the second is physical alteration, and the third is design. The history of verification technology starts thousands of years before the Common Era. The Suez Canal bond that we have here displays many of the elements that were designed over time to protect bonds. For example, it has an intricate design pattern that would be difficult to replicate. It has coupons that track the interest that is owed, and it also has a chirograph on the left side. These technologies did not originate all in one place or all at one time. To begin mapping them out, we'll have to start in China 3,000 years ago. This ceremonial vessel is important because it was made in honor of a financial agreement. On its side, there is an inscription that states that both parties received an identical copy of the agreement. The same can be seen with these bronze tally sticks. They have identical agreements written on them. This bronze example was made by the royal court for an agreement they had come to with a merchant. These bronze tally sticks are so closely modeled after bamboo that we believe that more common agreements would have been written on two sides of a bamboo stalk and cut in half to function as a tally. No bamboo examples have survived present day. The written word was used to protect parties of the agreement by creating exact copies that could not be altered, as well as memorializing it in an unchangeable material. While this bronze example was created as two pieces, the more common bamboo counterpart would have been considered a bipartite agreement. This is what we call a bipartite agreement, meaning that two pieces of the same object were cut in half with identical information on each side. Bipartite agreements protect individual financial claims because only the two parties of the agreement have a physical copy. It is made difficult to recreate due to the cut down the middle of the paper, or the object has to match up perfectly with the other half. It also promotes honesty within the agreement because the identical copies could not be altered without the other party noticing. The English also used tally sticks in the medieval era. The information about the agreement is written on both sides of a piece of wood. In this instance, the physical alteration of the stick is almost more important than what's written on it. What they would do is they would get a piece of wood and they would cut it in half. The borrower would receive the part called the stock and the lender would receive the foil. Prior to cutting the stick in half, notches would be cut into the bottom half of the stick. Each notch had a different meaning depending on the shape. It would signify a different denomination of currency and it would all add up to what you owed. Each time you came in to pay part of your loan, the two sticks would be placed back together and it cut at the bottom so that the stick now reflected your new balance. England was also using the chirograph to protect written documents such as bonds and loans. Here we have an English tripartite loan. It's cut through with a wavy line. Prior to entering politics, Benjamin Franklin worked as an apprentice in a printing shop. When continental currency began to be printed and paper money started in America, he was in charge of the printing as well as the design of the banknotes. He decided to create safeguards through printing and design, incorporating natural forms that would be difficult to replicate, such as leaves. He also made purposeful mistakes in spelling that would confuse counterfeiters. Franklin also had a new twist on the chirograph. When Franklin went to France to have the government sign a loan for the Revolutionary War, Franklin smuggled in paper from England that had a very intricate marbleized pattern on the side. When it was cut through, it was very much like a chirograph, and it was far too difficult to recreate. Later on, another American company would elaborate on the tradition started by Franklin. In 1911, the American Banknote Company of New York began using design, intricate printing styles, and unique inks as a way to protect financial claims. Now going forward into the technological era, people are becoming more and more concerned with how we're going to protect financial claims. As everything goes online, it surely speeds up the financial process, but it takes away the added layer of security that physical manifestations of the bonds and loans have had for years.